today we begin a new chapter in the life of the Nissan Leaf. As you probably have tested it this morning, the new Leaf includes a lot of customer-driven enhancements. We have a list of more than 100. And it's arriving at the right time because this is a major breakthrough as a technology and as a product of the Leaf. And we're seeing the sales increasing in Europe, obviously, but also in the United States and in Japan. As you know, globally, since the Leaf was introduced, which was in December 2010, now we have sold more than 55,000 of them. And with the Renault product lineup in terms of zero-emission cars, today the Renault-Nissan alliance has sold more electric cars than all of the other major car makers combined. I think we are by far today leading the charge about zero-emission cars. And 55,000 for the Leaf. You're going to add probably cumulative for Renault more than 30,000. We are approaching the 90,000 cars already sold. So you have today about 90,000 people driving electric cars from the alliance. And obviously, this is just the beginning. Although the Leaf was a groundbreaking vehicle with brand new technology, what's very important is that we had absolutely no quality problem. None. Which is, people consider what's to be done, but when you take a look to the fact that how much technology and innovative technology was put into the car, and there was not one recall, one quality problem, for a very simple reason, we said to our engineers, no car will be launched if there is any doubt on the quality or on the reliability of the car. And today we have the results is the cars everywhere have absolutely no quality. And what's very important is, in fact, the people driving, and here let me come back to the Leaf, we have 93% of European Leaf owners who expressed satisfaction with the product. This is the highest number of customer satisfaction that we have ever registered. Obviously, we don't access statistics of competitors, but I can bet that the Leaf has convinced the people who have bought the Leaf that this is technology which is mature. As you know, we have, there is around 1,400 Leaf dealers in 18 markets today across Europe. Oslo is the home of the world's largest Leaf dealership, and Norway is the European leader in Leaf sales. Since Norwegian sales started in late 2011, 20% of the total of Leaf sales in Europe. And it has been one of the best-selling passenger car for the first 3 months of 2013. Exactly, the position is number 6 best-selling passenger car in Norway. And it's interesting about the experience of Norway. The people of Norway are becoming ambassadors for electric cars. They know that with the Leaf, we can have both performance and sustainability. They also are reaping the benefits of the EV lifestyle and a package of incentives to purchase and use the EVs daily. And for us, it's very important because Norway is a proof that when government supports EV efforts, we can make significant progress in reducing our dependence on non-renewable fossil fuels. Because, as you know, in Norway you have 0% VAT on EVs and more than 3,500 charging stations, including 100 quick charging stations that all run on sustainable energy. Norway becomes an example for the world in terms of how to promote and develop and sustain zero-emission transportation. Now, as you know, a lot of people ask questions why governments are putting all this money to support EVs. Well, because it makes sense. It's not because of lobbying efforts. We obviously cannot make this kind of difference. Why the US, Japan, France, the UK, China, why are they putting $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 for people to buy an EV, and on top of this, helping developing the infrastructure? Because it just makes economic sense for them. When you take a look to the bill, the oil bill by entity, Europe spent 350 billion euro to import oil. United States spent $430 billion which represent more than 2% of its GDP. This per year. Japan consumes 4 million barrels of oil a day. China spent more than $220 billion to import oil. And this is just money taken out of the economy. That's it. Just going to have to pay for the oil, ship the oil, put it inside. There is no counterpart. Just to have energy, you're paying all this amount of money. If you could substitute part of this money in technology in the country, jobs into the country, infrastructure into the country, it's all benefit. That's the main reasons for which, on top of, I would say, the political issue around emissions, which is becoming an issue little by little in large cities. We've seen it recently in China. Then you can understand why governments are eager to support the development of this technology. And I think Norway understands this, because as you know, Norway doesn't have the problem of dependence on oil. It's a large oil exporter, but in terms of quality of life, emissions, and because it makes sense, they are supporting this technology. So we can tell you that the sales of the Leaf will be increasing. In March, in fact, the Leaf sales in Europe totaled 1,300 units, which is the first time we are passing the bar of the 1,000 units a month. In the United States, in March, we passed the bar of 2,000 units for the month of March. So little by little, the momentum is coming around electric cars. So obviously, we are fine-tuning the car. We are passing on the car all the improvements that's coming normally from knowing better the car, economy of scale is picking up. We are localizing the car. You know, we started production and assembly of the Leaf and the battery which goes with the Leaf in the UK for Europe in Sunderland before all the cars were imported from Japan, and we've done this after we started production and assembly of the Leaf in the United States in the state of Tennessee, in Smyrna. And we're listening also to consumers, and they're talking a lot about this product because most of them are passionate about this product. They want the Leaf to be a success, so they just, you know, I was meeting last week in the United States a club of owners of the Leaf in California, and you know, they were telling me, look, please listen to us, we have so many ideas for the car. It looks like they wanted the car to be a success. They want to give a lot of input on the car. And it's interesting is that the Leaf customers so far are very sophisticated buyers. Obviously they are smart, but they are sophisticated with high education and income levels. Here in Europe, more than 92% of Leaf owners use their Leaf almost every day, and 54% of them drive their Leaf over 60 kilometers a day, which is interesting because, as you know, they had the impression that electric cars are for small drives inside the city. It's not true. At least for so far, what we're seeing is people are using the car relatively massively. 54% drive over 60 kilometers a day. This statistics to be put near the average, you know that more than 80% of the drivers in Europe drive less than 50 kilometers per day. More than 80%. So the people who are driving the Leaf today are driving the Leaf much more than the average of the European consumer. And our intent with the Leaf is not to target 100% of the market, as we said it. We're targeting 10% of the market. For us, it's very good news because many of these owners, most of them are conquests, which means these are people who have never experimented the Nissan brand before. They're coming, most of them are coming from other brands. In the United States, 94% of the Leaf buyers are coming from other brands. They've never known Nissan before. In Europe, we have a very high also percentage of conquest. And again, with the help of their feedback, and they are very talkative, they are very passionate about the product, we are enhancing the car. As you know, we improved the driving range, 199 kilometers now, which is 12% increase over the first generation Leaf. It has more luggage space. I'm sure our people have showed you all the difference with the first generation. It includes state-of-the-art energy-efficient audio, heating, braking systems. We also reduced the home charging time from 8 to 4 hours. That's interesting because when we started the Leaf, we started at the beginning by saying there is a need for fast charging and there is a need for normal charging. So we started with 30 minutes and 8 hours. But what we're seeing is most of the people now are going for 4 hours. Why? Because the charging installation for 4 hours is much cheaper. And particularly in some countries, people need half days. For example, and again, I'm going to take the example of the US because it's one market versus Europe. We have so many markets. In the United States, people drive the leaf in the morning to go to the office. They work from 8 to 12, 4 hours. Then at 12, they take eventually the car to go for lunch, for a break. Then they come back, and they work another 4 hours before going home. So for them, what's important is 4 hours. Because they come to the office, they plug, they work, they come back, they drive, and then in the afternoon, so 4 hours becoming more and more something extremely important. We still believe the fast charging is the way to go, but for time for fast charging cost and investment to go down and the technology to develop, 4 hours appear as something extremely important, and this is also due to customer feedback and customer use of the car. As you know, we lowered the starting price to 29,000 euro, and we have particularly introduced, in fact, it was from the beginning, we wanted to introduce the leasing of the battery, but we made it possible in Europe. One of the reasons for which in some countries we cannot introduce the lease of the battery is for fiscal reasons. In some countries, if you lease the battery, well, the incentive given by the government is impossible, or part of the incentive has to be paid back in terms of VAT on the battery. What's very important is, I mean, the Leaf is not one car; it's a vision. It's an object which is a vision about how we look at this industry and how we look at the product. So there are going to be more cars coming, and the next one, as you know, coming from Nissan is the NV200 van, which is a light commercial vehicle, which will be assembled in Barcelona, in Spain, with batteries coming from Sunderland. Again, totally European product, battery from Sunderland, assembly in Barcelona. And again, this is not only about zero-emission cars. We have hybrid vehicles, efficient powertrain options, downsizing, using of turbo, hydrogen fuel cell, coming as a drive for the next wave of zero-emission cars. Because we think the future is going to be a combination of all these technologies. We don't think that one particular technology is going to be dominant. We have been living as an industry with one dominant commodity, which is oil. In 2012, more than 79 million cars were sold. Practically all of them are using oil. It's over. We can't continue to rely, particularly with all the development coming in front of us, on one commodity for transportation. We're going to need to develop a range of solutions. That's why there is place for hybrids, there is place for electric cars, and there will be place for fuel cells based on hydrogen, because we're going to be at 100 million cars probably in 2020, 2021, and the car park, which is estimated today at 1 billion vehicles being driven every day on the planet, all of them practically on oil, it is supposed within the next 20 to 30 years to double, particularly with the increase of the car park in the emerging market. So there is no way all of this is going to be moved and is going to be transported based on only one commodity. So that's what I wanted to tell you this morning as opening comments, but I know you want to have a Q&A session now.
Great, thank you, Mr. Ghosn. Okay, we have around 40 minutes.